Who do you think is the more important player tonight? Is it Suggs or Timme for the Zags?
Suggs. It's Suggs. And I understand, like, well, you think Timme has a better matchup, whatever. To me, that's why it's Suggs. Because if Suggs is going up against guards, plural, who have an NBA future, and he gets it done, Gonzaga's going to win. That will ensure Gonzaga wins. And from what I just saw from Suggs, from what we've just been talking about, a combo guard who does everything you want a guy to do that deep in the tournament, who's also that athletic, who's that much of a leader, that guy is who I'm looking at. It's not, listen, I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, okay? Please, let me be very clear about this. I understand there's only one Michael Jordan. But when he went up against Georgetown, he had future NBA guys, at least one, in the backcourt that he was playing against. And yet it was Jordan who finished the job. And that's, to me, what the challenge is here for Suggs tonight. It could be that you have mismatches elsewhere and you go to it. That's not how I see it. In games like this, guys like Suggs rise. And I believe he will be the difference. He'll win his tough matchups, and that's the reason Gonzaga will win.
Well, first of all, every time you bring up Jordan and North Carolina, let's forget that a dude by the name of Fred Brown gave the ball to James Worthy thinking that was his teammate. Let's not forget that big element in the sequence there. Let's not forget that's a very big play. So, it's beautiful because Jordan ultimately became Jordan on the NBA level, and obviously that was a big-time shot from 17 feet that he drilled from the left wing. We get all of that, but the flip side is that, damn, the ball was given away, too. Let's not forget that. That's number one. Number two, I would tell you it's Drew Timme. And the reason why I say it's Drew Timme is because it's not just his level of production, Max. It's the fact that few creates mismatches. The ball movement, the movement without the ball, the way they move around the rim, cutting in and out of the basket. The reality is that you find yourself in situations where you've got to be very, very particular and very specific about who's defending Timme because he's so efficient. I mean, the brother's got moves around the basket. He draws fouls. He finishes. He's got a nice touch. I mean, he can do a lot of things. And if you're Baylor and you don't have an answer for Timme, look at his numbers from the other night, 11 of 15. 11 of 15 from the field, 11 of 14 from inside. He only attempted 1 3-pointer. He's incredibly, incredibly efficient. You can have guard play. You can get it from Suggs or anybody. Nembhard, let's not forget him as your point guard. Great decision maker, at least Saturday night. I've been very impressed with what I've seen from him. But in the end, it's going to come down. If you can't contain Timme, you got no shot. You got no shot if you can't contain him. If that brother takes you to school in the low post, if you're Baylor, lights out. It's over. It's a wrap. You've got to find a way to neutralize him and make Suggs and Nembhard and those boys. And Ayayi, let's not forget him. You've got to make them beat you, particularly from the perimeter. You can't do that if you can't contain Timme. So I'd say Timme's the key to me.
Stephen A., my man Stephen A., I'm happy you finally have come around to this because a week ago, I mentioned Timme and how good he was, and you said, Timme, he's no Kevin McHale, he's no this guy, he's no that guy. Let's go to the old video. Here's the deal. You're right, Stephen A., you finally came over to my side, which most times when you come over to my side is the right side, so I appreciate that. It worked. I convinced you. Timme's ridiculous. They score 50 points a game in the paint. They had 56 against UCLA. Now, here's the deal. The most important matchup in the game, though, is going to be Kispert. And I'll tell you why. Because you talk about those other guys around him, and Timme is. Look, Timme's just different. The dude is just different. Gets 56, scores in all different types of ways. Oh, by the way, he's averaging 4 assists a game. Kispert, if you can't take Kispert off the floor, and look for Matt Meyer off the bench for Baylor to play a bunch of minutes to make Kispert defend. Because if you can get Kispert in foul trouble, the perimeter players at Gonzaga, the rest of them in the tournament, are shooting about 28% from the three. So if you get Kispert out who's shooting 50%, now all of a sudden the court shrinks a little bit. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to watch. The other thing is you've got to find a way to make Timme defend. What's the best way to guard Timme? Make him defend, get him in foul trouble. That's what UCLA did. They played the last 9 minutes with him in foul trouble. The step-up charge he took in that game with 4 fouls, incredible. Big-time play. So you've got to make Timme defend. You've got to see if you can make Kispert defend. Matt Meyer, by the way, he never saw a shot he didn't like. He will get shots up. You can play him almost at the point as a four-man. That will be interesting. Kind of like what UCLA did with Jaime Jaquez, which I thought was really smart. But you're right, Stephen A. Timmy's the most important guy for Gonzaga because they score all those points in the paint, because they play through him, and then if you double him, he is a terrific passer, and they're the best cutting team I've seen in probably 30 years. I mean, they cut as well as anyone. But this is a big day for me. Max, this is a big day for me. And I'll tell you why it's a big day. Because Stephen A. and I agree. I feel better about myself today.
Well,
you should.
Well, he should feel better about himself, as a matter of fact. Hey, I'm glad you brought up Kispert, Coach, because going into the tournament, he is the best player on the team kind of thing. And I feel like, especially after that game, what happened at the end of regulation with Suggs and during overtime with Timme, but Kispert is just as likely as anyone to be the best player on the floor in the championship.
Well, you could say that, but I'm not sure about that. Listen, he can play, and I like Kispert a lot. I truly, truly do. But like you said, Suggs is different. He's a different kind of talent. And then when you look at Timme, because of what you require from Timme in the low post, the fact that, again, it's one thing when you're just taking your man. It's another thing entirely when mismatches occur and you pick them up. Coach will tell you this. Do you know how many times a mismatch is created and players miss it? They miss it. In other words, a mismatch occurs and, oh, my God, I'm a little bit late. I'm a second or two late picking that up, and defenses are allowed to recover. Not against Gonzaga. You create a mismatch, they pick it up right away, especially Timme. And if you're Baylor, Baylor's athleticism, their tenacity, and all of that stuff might come into play, but they are prone to making mistakes. And Gonzaga, you can't do that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.